მე და შენ ერთად ვსჯელობთ, აი რა უნდა გააკეთოს ხელისუფლებამ.
The government should take care of the country. It should take care of the people too, right?
The government should take care of the country. It should take care of the people too, right? Let me tell you what the government should actually do. It should talk to the United States and to Britain, which in many ways is currently coordinating the policies and activities of this so-called global war party. It should also talk to China and Russia. Where is the dialogue with Russia? Where are the discussions about strategic cooperation with China? Why has all of this disappeared lately? Where is any kind of dialogue with Russia, even regarding the railway issue? If we claim to be the middle corridor. I recently listened to a statement by Boreshvili. Ms. Maka may think I'm constantly criticizing her, but she is very active publicly, so I end up commenting on her statements. I only talk about the parts I disagree with. If I agree with something, I usually don't mention it. She says that Georgia is doing everything possible to develop the middle corridor. But how are we doing everything if the government says restoring the Abkhazian railway is irrelevant? Restoring that railway would support both the middle corridor and the north-south route. Can we at least get an explanation of how this supposedly does not help? How can someone make such rigid statements and call it irrelevant? The restoration of this railway affects the economies of Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, India, and the transit routes from Russia to Europe. And that's considered irrelevant for Georgia. Even integrating Abkhazia's economy with Georgia's economy, is that irrelevant too? Besides its economic importance, this issue also has political significance. That's why dialogue is necessary. But inside Georgia, the government should not strengthen the forces that undermine the country. That's what I object to. I'm not objecting to meetings with the United States. Of course, the government should meet with them. We ourselves supported normalization, and the tensions were frustrating.
Yes, but we've consistently said the government should also meet with Russia.
Respondent? Exactly. God bless you for saying that. Georgia needs diversified security and a multi-vector foreign policy. Historically, Georgia survived by balancing between great powers, Rome and Parthia, then Iran and Byzantium, later the Ottoman Empire and Persia. That's what we always did. Whenever balance existed, Georgia remained stable. Whenever the balance collapsed, catastrophes followed. Invasions, occupations, Mongol rule, and countless other disasters described throughout Georgian history.
I don't know whether this is intentional or not, but we just experienced what looked like a hacker attack. YouTube and Facebook both went down for us. Everything has now been restored, but I don't know who thinks it's a good idea to run these kinds of experiments on us. I wouldn't recommend it. They should come to their senses, and if they want the truth, they should listen to us and take it into account. This concerns everyone equally.
You know, I want to share my opinion. In the current situation, the government is clearly drifting away from its declared course. I won't use the word betrayal, but there is definitely a deviation. You and I, our expert club, and Georgian society supported the government's declared foreign policy course. Now this shift seems like a wink toward the so-called global war party, as they themselves called it. And because of that, our editorial platform is becoming inconvenient. We're becoming unnecessary, even dangerous. We've already gone through several waves of attacks. Troll campaigns were unleashed against us.
And we know very well who organized them.
Exactly. They posted insults and nonsense online. The attacks weren't aimed at me personally or at you personally. They targeted the editorial team, TV Georgian, and one of the few remaining free media spaces. And to be fair, Georgia's first channel, although state-owned, still operates somewhat more independently than many other channels. But pressure there will likely increase too. As for us, I think they now see us as dangerous.
Dangerous in what sense?
Dangerous to the machinery of lies. When a factory of lies starts operating, the truth becomes dangerous. And if you happen to be one of the few sources telling that truth, they try to silence you.
Still, dear viewers, subscribe to the TV Georgian YouTube channel and also to our English language channel TV Georgian Times International if you want to hear the truth. We try to present information objectively and honestly.
There's another thing I want to point out. Until recently, the government reacted relatively adequately to society's needs and maintained a fairly balanced foreign policy. But lately, besides this cohabitation with the so-called global war party, We're also seeing something else emerge, a new punitive fines policy. This shows that a gap has appeared between the government and society. Exactly. It's becoming a form of repression. Yes, fines can sometimes serve a preventive purpose, but let's look at reality. Parliament recently passed a new fines policy. Crossing a bus lane now costs 200 GEL instead of 100. Imagine a pensioner whose monthly pension is around 370 to 420 GEL. If that person accidentally crosses a bus lane, they now have to pay 200 GEL. Now compare that to a member of parliament earning 15,000 GEL a month. An equivalent punishment for them would be a 7,500 GEL fine. Would MPs ever agree to that? Parking fines in Batumi increased massively too. So why not increase MPS fines proportionally as well? And here's the irony. They want ordinary people to use buses, but have you ever seen me? Neither. Not them, not their family members. They've built a separate reality for themselves, special lanes they freely drive through, while telling ordinary citizens not to use their cars.